Alright guys, I'm actually working on the fuel pump tonight. So I've taken the tank off. I don't have a video on how I did that, but it's basically just these petcocks down here are on each side. Right here's the hose. You just clamp that, pull those off. Electrical connector to the fuel pump, and then there's a big fuel line that runs up to here, and then there's 4 bolts. So yeah, these 2 bolts and then these 2, and then once you disconnect the lines, the tank will pull off, and then your fuel pump is right here. You just zap these bolts off, and then the hard part, let's set this down and I'll show you guys how I got this apart, which is a jigsaw puzzle. I was waiting on a friend to come over to help me, but so this is the fuel pump and this is the case, and there's little tabs right here on 4 sides, and that slides down and it pops in there. Well, what I had to do is, it's such a tight fit, those tabs don't actually, these don't push in. These are molded to the side here, so there's no flex. So what I had to do is I had to take 4 flathead screwdrivers, and while this is in there, I had to wedge a screwdriver in and pry it, and it didn't crack, thankfully. So I had to have 4 screwdrivers on each side. So I pried it open, wedged a screwdriver down above the tab, so I got these walls to flex up and out, and I got the screwdriver above this hole, above these tabs, so the screwdriver went in and above this tab, and I got all 4 screwdrivers on all 4 tabs, and then I took 1 screwdriver and just pried a little bit backwards to force it out, and it popped right out. So the cool thing about doing it this way without busting these, because a lot of people are busting these, I can't find the plastic case to mount the fuel pump in it. So you have to buy the whole fuel pump assembly, which is like $400 for an OEM part. So I bought the Optimum fuel pump, which I think is like $90 to $100, QFS Optimum fuel pump. And so instead of buying the whole OEM thing and spending $300-400, I spent $100 on the new fuel pump. And you got to figure out how to get these cases apart, because you can't find these cases. I wish I could have bought this for 40 bucks or whatever, and I would have just busted it and pulled it out. But it really isn't too bad. And the way I did it was pry those screwdrivers in 4. So I had 4 screwdrivers sticking out of this thing, all on one side. It'd have helped with 2 people, but I was able to get them wedged in there far enough and above those tabs where I had all 4 of them snug in there, and then I just took 1 and just did a little bit of pry and it popped it out. So that is how to take the fuel pump case apart for the KTM 790 and save yourself some money. Now I just got to undo all this and put the new fuel pump in, and then pop this back in the tank back on the bike, and we're good to go. So I was worried about this. I had put this off. I was going to do this before a big trip up northeast, but I didn't because I couldn't get this case apart. And then I finally had some time now, since I'm winter rebuilding the bike this winter, over the winter months, that I could sit down here and try to figure this out. So that is how I did it. 4 screwdrivers, 1 on each, above each tab, get them all wedged in there. It takes some time to do, and sometimes they pop out, and so I tried probably 4 or 5 different times, but I was able to finally get it. So if you guys want to know how to take the fuel pump case apart, that, to me, it worked for me. You might have another better way to do it, but hey, it worked. Did it by myself, didn't have to have help, which I was worried that this thing, simple piece, is the one thing that I would need help on. So it's good that I got this apart. So now I'm going to take that apart and put my new fuel pump in. Okay, Now I'm going to work on swapping out the fuel pump. So a little bit of time here. Watch as I go along. I really haven't watched any videos on doing this. I've done one before on my 1290, but let's see if I can't figure it out here as I go. And off. Can't tell if that's an Allen. Oh, yep, looks like this pops up. There you go. Just like that. There's a little ring here that needs to pop off. Bending the heck out of it. It just popped off and I don't know where it went. Look at that, I found it. So that's what was holding on. You can see that or not, but that's what was holding on this black thing to that post right there. That connector's the same. I think I gotta reuse those. Trying to get this little clip back on. It is a pain in the butt. This post seems to be a little bit bigger than the old one. So this post and this little ring has to clip on there. Get out, I can tell you that. Hopefully the last time I gotta do a fuel pump. Not that this fuel pump's bad, but KTM's kind of known to have the OEM pumps going out. So when I'm doing maintenance, I definitely do not want to be stranded by a bad fuel pump. So the reason why. Around. And then it kind of twists and locks in place somewhat. Pick up filter screen back on. It just pops on like so. Get it fitting half decent. Goes on there like that. This goes down in here. It's not bad, but I don't want my wire bunched up too much. Okay, now I'll go get the case, snap it back on. Here's the bottom case with the fuel line still attached. There are 4 prongs in here. That's where this piece connects to right there. So we rotate that. As you can see, it's a super tight fit. It's hard to even get on. I don't want to smash that stuff. Put that on that edge. Oh man. And one. Heard that pop. There's that one. So I'm just putting this against the table and pushing hard. There's that one. One last tab. I think it's already in. Okay. Okay, we're good. That's in tight, not going anywhere now, as I assumed. So you can see here where these cases meet, where you can see where I got in there with the screwdriver and basically slid the screwdriver underneath this piece and but above the tab. And I did that with 4 screwdrivers on all 4 tabs, and then I took one as I had them wedged in there and just kind of pulled out towards me, making the screwdriver tilt up on the inside, pushing it out. So that is how I got the fuel pump apart. So do I need any of these tools? I think I need this. And I'll take the camera back out and we'll put this back in the tank. So I got a black one from Rottweiler. Might as well put it on. They got new bolts, sticker. So this is a fuel pump guard, just like the OEM one, but it's made to protect. It's made to protect the fuel pump. So my buddy just showed up just in time. So I got it all done.
What's going on, man?
Alright, so I got the fuel pump slid in, got that Rottweiler guard on here. Could probably clean it up a little bit better, but yeah, I was explaining how I did it. Camera, because
Oh yeah, see,
I mean it's
somebody might need to.
yeah, well it saves you $300. $100 for a pump if you can save the case, because you
Yeah.
can't buy the case separate.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. They gotta make money somehow. Too bad Triumph ain't got the same options. I'd rather pay more and have options than
Right.
nothing at all.
Yeah, I gotta get this back in because I'm tired of smelling gas too.
Yeah, it's rich in here, that's for sure.
Yeah, she's done. Sweet.
Speaking of, I'm opening the door.
It's still pulling gas out right now.
Yeah, I can taste it. It was strong, dude.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, the fuel level's high, so it's.
Oh, around that edge.
It was it was pouring out. As soon as I loosened it, it started pouring out. It was like barely. On, She's looking bad.